Hello, Spurs fans. This is LJ's Spurs Chat. I am LJ, and tonight I'm joined with Big John and Simon. How are you guys?
Fuming.
Oh dear, Simon, you'll be all right. Back me up tonight.
Yeah, disappointed but not surprised.
Yeah, that's same as me. Right, Spurs 0, City 1. I'll go through the game quickly here. Hopefully, Danny will join us later. We'll go through the lineup in a minute because that's another scenario we brought up loads of questions. But Madders was the captain. The first 5-6 minutes was a lively start from Spurs. There was pressing with intensity. But on 7 minutes, cross from the left, which we found that City were going to look for all of the first half. Cross from the left, Haaland shot straight at Vicario. Should have done a lot better there. 3 minutes later, Doku running at the defence. Defenders too scared to tackle him. Squares for Haaland, who strikes home 1-0 City. He took a slight deflection, but to be fair, it was miles too easy for City, that goal. On 20 minutes, Doku causing Spurs problems, running at 3 defenders, then hits a shot. Vicario gets a solid hand to it. 4 minutes later, Doku yet again, great ball into the box. Silvilio all alone in the box, 8 yards out, hits it into the ground and flies over. Surely it was easier to score. 29. Danzo fouled out wide, no free kick given. City carry on, playing fast balls to the edge of the box, finds Doku, who squares to Haaland, who hits the shot straight at Vicario. Spurs are lucky not to be 3-0 down here. Half an hour, Bentancur, yellow card for challenge from behind. 2 minutes later, Silvinho down the left, cuts inside, shot blocked by Danzo. City dominant. Spurs look so all over the place at the back. A minute before the break, a Porro free kick, Danzo header tipped over by Edison was all Spurs had to show. For second half, surprisingly, no substitutions from Ange, which was a surprise to me. 53 minutes, Silvinho in acres of space, cuts in from the right, shot is deflected off Danzo for a corner. 54 minutes, best Spurs move of the game so far. Porro crosses from the right, misses Tell, Odegaard stretching just wide. A few minutes later, Madders yellow card for a rugby tackle on Silvinho. Could have easily seen red for that. 59 minutes, Porro free kick, swings it in. Danzo's there again with a header, but straight at Edison. A minute later, Odegaard cuts in from the left, shot deflected out for a corner. Much better from Spurs so far this half. The crowd, who've been quiet all night, suddenly come on you Spurs ringing around the stadium. The corner from Porro, Bentancur's header deflected for another corner. This next corner, Bentancur again, saved well by Edison. On the hour, Kulu, Son, Spencer, on for Tell, Bentancur, Udogie and Odegaard. 5 minutes later, Udogie robs the City defender, drives forward, slides Tellin, who toe pokes it wide. Should have done better there, really. 66 minutes, corner for Spurs, Johnson heads over. 2 minutes later, Son plays Udogie down the left, crosses low for Sarr, who tries to place it, was blocked by the City defender. 81 minutes, Werner on for Maddison, boos from the home crowd. 7 minutes before the end, Johnson beats his man for once, crosses low into Son, great one-handed save from Everson. Spurs deserve a draw here. 4 minutes from time, yellow card for Sarr, push on Foden, frustration there from Sarr. 93 minutes, Haaland bundles his way through into the box and slides home. VAR check for handball, goal disallowed. Looked more of a penalty than a handball from Haaland, to be honest. 97 minutes, Porro crosses, Son flicks on, Sarr heads over. That would have been so funny. City would have had blood boiling if that had gone in. Full time, 1-0 to City. Spurs could feel hard done by, but their first half performance is what cost them the game eventually. That's Tottenham's 14th league defeat this season. What are your thoughts, Simon, on that game?
I mean, there's two. It's a game of two halves.
Yeah.
First half, we were so bad. We were lucky to get away with 1-0 at half time. I mean, it could have easily been 3 or 4. Probably should have been at least 2 or 3. I mean, how Silvinho missed that thing, I have no idea how he got it over the bar from that close in. But so first half was super disappointing. But that's just us all over. When you get a little bit, you feel like, the vibe's coming back, and you win 3 in the bounce, and you think, okay. You always know that a crappy performance like that is going to turn up. And in the second half, it got a bit better, and it's we kind of matched them. I wouldn't say we were better than them, but we matched them in the second half. but then they still created the best chances in the second half.
Yeah.
You know, it looked like one of those days where we could still be playing now. We wouldn't have scored.
No, we didn't look like he was going to score. What's your thoughts then, John? Dare I ask?
I was fuming, Lou. Fuming.
Yeah.
When you sent me over the team sheet, I put my glasses on and I noticed Spence went in the squad. I thought, what? You're having a laugh? That disheartened me. First half, do you know what? Dog shit.
They were poor, weren't they?
Proper poor. Second half, I thought to myself, we might get a draw out of this.
Yeah.
Then I remembered, Ange don't play for draws, does he?
No.
And then, well, I didn't think much of the second half, to be honest with you, either.
I was quite happy with the second half, but maybe that's because I was so disappointed with the first. But do you think it was a case of some people are saying, well, Ange couldn't win either way. He tried to rotate. But in my opinion, I don't know what you lot think, the people that he left out or rested or rotated, whatever you want to put it, I think he should have started with them. And the players that haven't been playing a lot, he should have brought on once City were tired.
Yeah.
I think he started with the wrong team, Simon.
Well, I mean, I was reading that Spence had a knock, and then I see him on the bench. I was like, hang on a minute, maybe he hasn't then. Because that first goal, to be honest, I think that if he was on that right hand side in that first half, he'd have trousered Doku, and he wouldn't have been half as dangerous as he was.
Yeah.
But because it's down to Porro to defend against Doku, that's when you got a bit of a problem, because defending isn't Porro's strong suit, and so and also speed. If you want speed, you put Porro there. You put
Spence, yeah.
You put Spence there, and it's just like you match speed with speed, and that would probably cancel Doku out. And he was their most dangerous player, pretty much all game.
Yeah. Well, John, I don't know if I said it to you, but I said it to Daddy. And do you think that Ange will ever try this? I can't see him doing it, but I said, I know I said it to Danny. I said during the game I said, why don't you put Spence at right back, Porro at right wing or right midfield, right? Because he's probably got one of the best deliveries for us, only Porro. Spence is better at defending, but when he's up against Doku, Porro could come back and help Spence.
Yeah.
Do you think he'll ever do that?
No, he's thick as arseholes, Ange.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
I've got the right ump with Ange at the minute, to be honest with you, Lou.
I do like Porro, but sorry, carry on, John.
I'm just not understanding Ange. I'm not understanding this manager.
I put on Twitter, or X, whatever you want to call it, before the game, I put, it could be 4-4 tonight. I said, I really don't know what to expect, but I am convinced that Doku, Silvinho, Haaland, and that Mamouche are going to cause us serious problems. So if that's coming from me, who's just a fan, why didn't Ange see it? And why didn't Ange do anything? Why do managers have to wait an hour before they make a change? The only one that done it was Mourinho at various different clubs. He should have seen what was happening to Porro, because I know everyone was slating Porro on social media last night, and I did feel a bit sorry for him because he wasn't getting any help at all, was he? And this again is where we need a leader on the pitch, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because Johnson is lazy.
He's
I think
lazy. He's the most.
I thought he was the worst player on the pitch, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think I told you, John, didn't I? I got slated on Twitter the other day because he scored those 2 goals, and I put he's just a tapping merchant. And then
he just looked really off the pace last night. It was just like,
how did he stay on the pitch? I don't know how he stayed on the pitch.
No.
Do you know what I mean? I don't understand it. I really don't understand it at all.
I think it's because he's the one that seems to still have that knack of getting into the right position and nicking a goal. And he can have a really pony game and still score 2 and be the hero of the day. But it wasn't happening yesterday.
I think you're right, John, what you said to me earlier, when you think that Ange takes too much notice of the data-driven thing, which seems to be going through Tottenham at the minute, instead of watching the game. Because I've always said, I'm not a great believer in stats, and I'll give you a prime example of why I'm not, and this always wins the argument. Just say I'm a winger, yeah, and Simon's the forward, right? I'll say I'm the winger, so then Simon looks like he's a bad striker, right? I crossed the ball in 20 times to Simon, right, in the last 5 games. but he only converts 2, right? So I get 2 assists, yeah? The fact I've put in another 18 brilliant crosses. Do you know what I mean? So when you're looking at data driven, do you know what I mean? That can be deceiving, can't it? Oh, he's only put in, or even 10 games, 20 crosses in 10 games, but Simon's only converted 2. But the fact of the matter is the 20 crosses were good and he missed them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's where I think the data driven stat thing can be wrong. And I think that's the case with, if you look at Brendan Johnson's stats, I think they are quite good. But he doesn't do anything. And he doesn't track back and help Porro at all. Porro was left out to dry last night, in my opinion.
Yeah, he was only out to dry, definitely. That back was so open on that side, wasn't it?
It's always open, though, isn't it? Always open.
Yeah.
Always. And why was he caught forward, miles forward, time after time yesterday?
Because you know that Brennan ain't gonna slot in. If Porro's gone wandering, Brennan isn't gonna track back and slot in.
Good evening, sir. Yeah, but he must be being told by the manager, Simon, to go up that far. It's crazy, isn't it? I mean, maybe he said, look, if you press up high, you can press Doku back, but it wasn't working. So you surely should think, well, I've got to stay back here. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, the pressing's been a bit poor, isn't it? Without Solanke in the squad, I think a lot of this pressing, we've been missing him, haven't we?
Yeah, big time. But that leaves Spurs now in 13th position, 10 wins, 3 draws, 14 defeats. So, in your opinion, John, is it Europa League or bust for Ange now?
That's what he's playing for. He's forgetting everything else now, and he's concentrating on that Europa League.
Well, that's what a lot of people were saying about his team selection last night.
Yeah, that squad selection last night, that just proves it, doesn't it, really? That he's just concentrating on the Europa League. He's trying to feed into this, we always win something.
Yeah.
You know? And he wants, mate, I'd rather us be a bit further up the league, to be honest with you. Then I wouldn't be so pissed off with him.
So, Simon, if he wins the Europa League, do you think he'll keep his job?
I think he'll keep his job even if he doesn't win it.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you think that's well, John?
Yeah.
Levy has the expectations of the fan base very low. Yeah.
They're not going to sack. They're not going to sack Ange, are they?
I don't think he will keep his job. We wouldn't win a turkey in a Christmas raffle. Yeah. No, I don't know about that. I don't know. I think he'd get the sack. But someone said on an interview last night, that was on one of these things, that he wouldn't care if, I could ask you to do the same. If we finish, say, 13th or 15th, but won the Europa League, would you want to see Ange stay on?
At this point, we look at it. We look at where the points are. We probably aren't going to even get in the top half.
No.
The way things are going, I can't see us finishing in the top half. So we're going to finish in the bottom half. And so our best hope is finishing probably 11th with a Europa League. That's probably our best outcome this season.
And would you want Ange to stay then?
The thing is like I don't really know what to say, because you looked at the game yesterday and it was kind of like he's rotated a lot, and there's lots of people feeling their way back in from injuries, and it's this, that, and the other, and it's just like we can't get any consistency in the team. No. And I don't know if he is resting players for you. Europa's not till next Thursday. It's still got a week. There's no game this weekend.
Yeah.
So it's just like, and even when we first started doing these things, I always said our only realistic chance of a cup here is the Europa.
Yeah.
Even when we got to as far as the semi-finals, I never had any faith that we'd win the Carabao.
No.
And then when the fixtures fell out, and our second leg of the Carabao was 3 days before our fifth round, or whatever, was it fourth or fifth round? Villa FA Cup tie. I was just like, watch this. We're going to go for it against Liverpool and balls it up against Villa, and we're going to lose both.
Yeah.
What a shock. That's exactly how it turned out. And it's just like, way back like last year, I was saying, and there you go. Europa is our only realistic chance of winning anything. And you look at it, and actually, there's a lot of dangerous teams. There's probably more dangerous teams in that than Champions League at the moment. It's mental the how dangerous some of those teams are.
So it sounds to me this time you don't really know yet, do you, about, and you're not sure. We're not sure whether.
I loved it at the start of last season. Then when we got everyone back, we could never get any sense of form going, and it's just kind of drifted ever since. Then we come into this season, get off to a slow start, then it's injury after injury, and it's just like I don't know what we are and what we're trying to do at the moment.
See, Danny thought I was mad when I said to him last night. I don't know what you think, right? But I can see good bits in our play. You know, the intricate one-touch passing and that, right? That's the positive. But the negative for me is I keep having it in the back of my mind, which I've said since as you said, since we started doing this, that a proven manager would get a much more out of this squad. I know he's had injuries.
We've had Conte and Mourinho, and they couldn't either. So
I just don't think this system is going to work because there are good players there, aren't there? What do you reckon, John? If you finished say 11th, then like Simon said, and then we won the Europa League, would you think, oh, Ange, we'll give you another start of the season, or would you want to see him gone?
No, I'd give him a chance. I believe in everyone having their fair crack at the whip.
If he wins the Europa League, though, is that like he's got to win the Europa League to earn that? Then is he?
Yeah, stop playing Werner.
That's what that is the only thing that baffles me, right? I said to Daddy, when I see these funny substitutions, I do try and work out what's going through his mind, whether I agree with it or not. And all I could think of was, okay, we need Werner on because he's thinking we're getting desperate now, need a bit of pace down the flanks. I can understand that. But can someone please explain to me why he took Madders off? Because I thought Madders was okay last night. Simon?
Well, my thing is that the majority of his substitutions aren't tactical changes. Most of his substitutions are just changing like for like.
Yeah,
he basically a player's run himself into the ground, and he just puts the same type of player on and replaces him. There's no real. I can probably count on one hand. He's made game-changing substitutions, whereas he doesn't. He's actually done this and that's changed the game.
Yeah.
His substitutions are just always like for like. It's just like do what you were doing, but do more of it. And that's it.
Cross your fingers and hope.
Yeah, because when he first came to the club, he basically said, "This is my plan A. This is it. My system will work." So he needs almost two teams so he can do like for like. That is what he basically said. It will work. So he will take Sarr off, put Basuma on, for example, because he wants that plan A to keep the high intensity so that plan A will work. But if the plan A doesn't work, we're at it, aren't we?
Yeah.
At the moment, it doesn't work because all the players are getting injured trying it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've never seen so many muscle injuries before.
Do you know why he brought Madders off, John? Because I know you're not a great fan of Madders, but he was all right last night, wasn't he?
Yeah. I was quite enjoying him playing. I was quite enjoying his passion for the shirt last night, and then to have him subbed off, I thought
he didn't look happy, did he? Didn't look happy.
No, I thought you were having a laugh, mate. Well, would you look happy if you were subbed for Werner?
No, good point. Ange ball basically means to get to the front line quick by letting them go the ball quickly, which is what we don't do. Yeah, I've always wondered that, Nightglow, because Ange ball is based on quick interchanging passing, which they don't do. On the odd occasion, like they did yesterday in the second half, and they've done it, they cut through any team. Do you know what I mean? But they don't do it enough. It's too slow. And they struggled yesterday, didn't they? I think you both must have seen it. They struggled with City's press because they're brilliant at it.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't have time to keep the ball with the back, did we? Because there was those front four that I mentioned earlier for City, they was all pressing. And there's another four coming after that. We're not very good at getting out of decent presses, are we? We're good at getting out of against mediocre presses. But when you come up against a team like Liverpool, like City, that press properly, we struggle, don't we? Big time.
Yeah. The funny thing was that a lot of the game, you look at that first half and you watch it back, the amount of time City sat back and just said, go on then, have a go. And normally City just try and have a go at us and we pick them off.
Yeah.
But they took their time, and then every now and then they just get to Doco and catch on the break. But you looked at it and they had 2 banks of 4 and we couldn't break any of it down.
They let us have the ball because they knew when they won it back, there'd be massive gaps at the back of ours, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Our wingers have to cut in it each time, which means the suffocate. Yeah, I agree with you, mate. I've said that for ages. I've said it for ages as well on here, on all my social media accounts, that our wingers are a massive problem. I thought Odegaard done okay. At least he has a go, but you got to give him.
It looked like Son was playing there. He kept cutting in, and I was just like, why are you not taking him on? Go past him now, because that's what it always excited me about Odegaard. It was when before his injury, he'd run at people, and he'd go outside and he'd go inside, but he'd have a go, and he wasn't really doing that yesterday. He kept cutting back just at the edge of the penalty area, and it's just like. Is it? Are our wingers being told to do this to not get to the byline and put a ball over?
Yeah, but when you watch their training, Simon, time and time again, that is all they do. I know that's not all they do. That's all they show us what they do, and it's all about getting to the byline and crossing. And you've seen, haven't you, John? You know what I mean?
I've seen that. Yeah.
So that's what frustrates me about Johnson, because I was saying to Harry last night. Do you remember that bit? It's the first time I've seen Johnson beat a man for ages, and we nearly scored out of it, but he doesn't do it enough. He's got the pace, but he don't do it enough. It really winds me up. Nah, that inverted wing is, it's no good. I think in the summer, if he does stay, I think he's going to have to go out there. He's going to have to buy 2 world-class wingers. And if you don't, the system's never going to work in it. That's just my opinion anyway.
Yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean? It's not, is it, John? There's no point having wingers if they keep coming inside. You've got 2 wingers that keep coming inside, right? Then you've got inverted fullbacks, which are they're coming inside. And then Madders is there, and people are slagging him off for not doing anything. There's no space.
Yeah.
What's that? I bet when the camera goes off, the players are down the pub. I'm surprised they're not all on the.
It's not just the wingers who are crowding the midfield. When
it's the inverted things.
When you've got Udogie and Porro coming in there as well, so you've got the wingers cutting in from the front of them. You've got Udogie and Porro cutting in from behind them.
Madison's got no space. His feet. Right, we'll go through the players now. Do our usual marks out of 10, because I thought there was a couple of brilliant performances for me on there. John, Vicario out of 10?
Vicario out of 10. Oh, 7.
It's online.
Yeah, I think so. Simon?
Yeah, I mean, look, he didn't get much wrong. He couldn't do anything into goal. You give him a 7.5 for his solid performance.
Porro?
Next one.
It's hard though, isn't it? Because he was hanging out to dry. You want to give him like a 3, but I do feel that he was.
But the thing is, he wasn't defending. And the stuff that he's the most effective at, he wasn't really doing that either. So
I'd probably give him a 5, and that's being generous, to be fair.
That's the number I had in my head.
Yeah, 4.5.
Archie Gray.
I just love how confident he is on the ball.
6.
Yeah, Simon, sorry.
I just love how confident he is on the ball. Sometimes it worries me that
it does worry me, but he's got it anyway. Yeah, I thought he'd done right.
Yeah, look, I mean, he impresses me as an 18-year-old kid, and he just didn't look out of place against City. I'd give him a solid. He didn't do anything fantastic either. Probably a 6.5, 7, 6.5.
The reason I'll give him the extra point of 7 is because he's not a centre half and his age. Says it all for me. Danzo?
Probably his least assured performance so far. He looked a little bit edgy, got away with a few bits, but I think that his positioning wasn't great on the goal. So I can't put it all on Porro. I think Danzo, he just got caught napping and so Haaland got away from him. So I think between the pair of them, that they were at fault for the goal. So I'd say 6. Other than being at fault for the goal, he still was. He was even dangerous up front. But yeah, I'd probably give him a 6.
Yeah, solid 6.
Solid 6. I'll give him a 6.5. Udogie?
Look, I mean, this is right. This is the thing. The player I was most worried about is Marmoush, and I don't know how much whether it's Udogie who kind of kept him quiet, or whether he just had an off day, and he looked all right going forward. So he probably gets a 6 out of it as well. But I was really surprised. I was worried about what Marmoush was going to do to us, and he didn't do anything.
No, he didn't. John?
Yeah, I'll go for a 7. 6, 7.
He didn't do anything wrong, did he?
No.
Bergvall, I'm going to give him an 8. I thought he tied towards the end and gave a couple of balls away, but I thought he was outstanding again. He just glides past players. And considering I think he's brilliant, I do. And his age again, I thought he was our best player.
Yeah, he makes me nervous. He really makes me nervous. Just the youth. And sometimes I think to myself, he's give the ball away, but then he gets it back again. You know, he runs back and tracks back, and solid 7.
Yeah, I'll give
there were a couple of times where he lost the ball and got.
But that was near the end, weren't it? I think when he got tired.
So there was one time when he lost it, and I think Bentancur had him covered, but he didn't get it, and somehow managed to bobble back to Bergvall, and he got up and went away with the ball. But look, he's growing every week, and he's starting to turn into the player that we thought he might be, maybe sooner than we thought he'd get there. And look, I used to love. I'm not saying he's anything anywhere near this, but my favourite player in a long time is Dembele, and he does lots of Dembele stuff. I love when he gets the ball in the pocket and gets it in a tight space, and he just doesn't look like losing it, although he did yesterday. But I would say probably as a team, no one deserves more than an 8, maybe a 7.5.
Yeah, I like the way that he drives as well at people. He's got that like good speed over 10 yards, isn't he?
Yeah, he's got front, hasn't
he? Yeah, Bentancur.
A sign of a class player is someone who looks like he's got a lot of time when he doesn't, and
he does. He's going to be some player, Simon. I think I really do. Bentancur, I thought he was solid enough. Probably has to do too much work, to be honest.
Yeah, I thought he was decent. He made some decent contributions in both boxes, kept it tidy in the middle. So I'd say he's worth a 7 as well.
7, yeah. John?
Yeah, definite 7. He was
Sorry,
covering
Sorry?
Did I ask John about a mark for Bergvall? I can't remember what he said.
Bergvall, I'll go for 7 again. Yeah. Not his best night, but a really good night.
Maddison.
For his age.
I thought he's a 7 for me, Maddison.
Yeah, he always seems to raise his game against City. I don't know what it is, but he always. I don't know if he likes to raise it against certain opposition, but he definitely seemed to be. It's one of his better games recently. Yeah. So yeah, he's good for a 7, I'd say.
John, I know you're not a fan of Madders.
No, but do you know what? I'm not a fan of him, but I appreciate his football. So like 7. He was playing well last night. I just can't.
A lovely balls down the left-hand side, didn't he?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Johnson. Well, I'm going to give him a 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not really that cruel to people, but he's starting to wind me up now.
Yeah.
Because I watched him. I think I said to you, John, didn't I? I was really watching him last night, and he hung Porro out to dry. He jogs back. Sometimes walks back. It's not, 3 out of 10.
You can miss.
The thing was, he was jogging going forward. I remember there was one ball that got played over the top, and it was angled towards the wing. So you'd think Johnson was the person.
Was that when he cut inside?
I don't know what he was doing, but in the end, Bergvall was the one that chased it down.
That's right. Yeah.
And I was like, Bergvall came from 6 yards back.
Yeah.
And I was like, why is Johnson not chasing that ball down? It's just
like the same one, but even Harry said, why is he cutting when he needed to run down the flank? It must have been the same situation. Are you going to be as cruel as me and give him 3?
4.
Oh. John?
2.
There you go. That gives him a 3 average.
Right, Tell. I felt a bit sorry for Tell, so I'm not. I don't think
he was isolated up there. What can the boy do?
I'll give him 5, but that's a bit cruel, really. But I think he only gets a 5 because he didn't do anything, but he didn't get the service or nothing, to be honest. So that's a bit of a harsh score, but I can't give him any more. Do you know what I mean?
The thing is, as well, is that when he got virtually no service. When the ball did get to him, it was like a ball that was halfway behind him, or it just awkward positioning, and he couldn't get anything on it. The fact that he even got any of these goal bound was a miracle in itself. But the passes that he was receiving were not of any quality. If you were a striker, even if you were Kane, you wouldn't be making much of these passes.
No.
And it's just like this young lad has come over and just been thrown straight in the deep end of in a team that's not performing, and to expect a 19-year-old to carry a team on his shoulders is just stupid. So it's just like, look, he can't get any more than a 5.5 for last night's performance, but a lot of it weren't his fault.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, John.
I think you hit the nail on the head, Simon, when you said isolated. That word. He ain't getting no service. He looks like he has to stand there by himself and do his own stuff. I feel sorry for him.
Yeah, I felt sorry for him last night.
Yeah, and if you watched him in the first couple of games, he was making these runs,
and no one was passing.
Like no one was seeing him.
Yeah,
and he's got to the point where I think he's just stopped making the runs. It's like, these players are dumb; they're not going to see the run, so why make it?
Did you see him? Did you see him? Any of you do after the game?
No, I turned off about 3 minutes before the end.
Like, he come up after the game, when they applaud the fans and that, and he went, basically, "I'm sorry, I wasn't good." I felt sorry for him because I thought, it's not your fault, mate. He's basically apologising for his performance, and I felt a bit sorry for him, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I actually did. Oh, wrong one. All right. What's the other one? Odebear. I'll let you start with that one, Simon, because I know you like Odebear.
Yeah, disappointing, really. I expected like a Scooby-Doo like unmasking and then for it to be Son.
Yeah.
Because he was going down the wing, getting near to the penalty area and cutting to the right. And he did it at least 4 times. And I was just like, oh, it can't be, because I've seen Odegaard when he was playing for Burnley, and he doesn't mess about. He goes at you, and it's like have they been told not to do it?
It's like two
Because
different
why
players.
is Son not doing it? Why is Odegaard not doing it? Why is Decky not doing it? Why is Brennan not doing it? Why isn't anybody doing it?
Do you think maybe it was, he had a couple of times when he had a go, but do you think it's maybe because he's come back from injury, he's going to take him a couple of games to get the confidence?
I mean, he might be just a bit off the pace.
Yeah, he might be, yeah.
But I was disappointed because I was excited. I've been pushing in Champions.
I was excited to see him starting, yeah. Who came on? Spence. I think he was good again.
Yeah.
Again, should have started. They said he had a slight knock, but he didn't look like he had a slight knock when he come on, did he, John?
No, he played well.
Yeah.
Well, see,
7 out of 10,
him on the bench. How can he have a slight knock and then they sat him on the bench? It's just the excuse.
Yeah.
It's no coincidence that Doku was a lot quieter when he came on.
Yeah,
definitely.
Solid 7 all round, then, is it, for Spence?
Yeah.
I mean, I can't give a substitute anything more than a 6 out of a performance like that as a team. So, no. I mean, he didn't have enough time to really have an impact, but he stopped the game from getting any worse. But that's about it.
Yeah. This player really frustrates me. Kulichevsky. I thought he was crap, to be fair. I don't really know how else to put it. And he does really frustrate me. I know Danny feels the same. I don't think he'd done anything.
No, and he's one of the ones when everyone was, I would say everyone's like, he's our best player of the season. I was like, he's probably our most effective player of the season. Okay. But the problem is he gives the ball away too often. It seems to be running at half pace. He gives pointless fouls away that he put, and a lot of times in dangerous positions.
Outside the box.
He just does lots of stupid things.
Yeah.
And it's like his football intelligence isn't massively high. And the thing is you know what he's going to try and do. He's going to try and go down the right. He's going to try and come back onto his left, and he's going to try and bend it into that far post. And yeah, he got away with it once against Ipswich Town on an absolutely pony performance. And you think, wow, that was a beautiful finish. So, yay, Decky. But he hasn't played well since before Christmas.
No.
Yeah.
That's
What do you reckon, John?
Yeah, I like Kulizeski, and I
Yeah.
love to hate him, but I can't wrap my head around him. I can't. Can't justify him being in the team all the time, can you? Really, with performances that he keeps pulling out of his arsehole that are just arsehole performances.
His goals, like Simon said against Ipswich, sort of take the poor performances out of the way, then they sort of paper over the cracks to me.
Yeah.
I find him frustrating because you can see what he can do.
Yeah, he can,
but he doesn't do it very often anymore.
No, he's overrated, isn't he? Oh yeah, John, your mate, Sarr. I didn't really notice him on there much, to be fair.
No, you didn't notice him until he makes a screw up.
To what?
Said you don't notice him until he makes a screw up, until he makes a terrible foul that he don't need to make. And headless chicken, isn't he? He's just a pure headless chicken.
Yeah, he does seem to run around like an headless chicken. I'd only give him a 5, to be honest.
Cool, you're generous, Lou.
I am, yeah. I'm too nice, man.
I mean, look, he got himself about the pitch, but
that's what he does, though. But he seems to be an headless chicken. I don't know what's happened to him.
It's a shame that he got just slightly ahead of the ball at that 95th whatever minute it was.
Yeah.
Because he got so far ahead of it that he couldn't get over it to put it in. That would have been hilarious if he'd.
That would have been judged because they would have been going
especially after I couldn't work it out because someone said that it wasn't a disallowed goal, that the ref had already disallowed it, and that they were checking to see if they should give it.
Yeah,
and they decided that there wasn't enough evidence to overrule it, so they left it as not a goal. So it wasn't like the VAR disallowed it.
Yeah,
they didn't overturn the referee.
They went with the referee's decision because it was inconclusive. So if they had given the penalty, he would have got it. If the referee had decided to give a penalty, VAR would have given it. You know what I mean? Oh, sorry, a goal.
But yeah, so sorry, SAR 5, by the way. I forgot.
Yeah, what did John say? No.
I said 2, Lou.
Big old read out my mate then.
I'll say Son first. Let's say Son first because he done all right when he came on, didn't he?
Yeah.
To be fair,
that little. Oh, it was so close. The ball came to him quite quickly, and he got it on target. And to be fair to Edison, he got.
That was a good one-handed save. That was a good save. That, to be fair,
yeah, it was a good old save, wasn't it?
I'll give him a 6. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm not giving any subs more than 6. So he take the maximum I'm going to give.
Yeah, Simon's put a kibosh on us now. We've got to give him a 6 for being a sub.
Right. Burner, Simon's mate. I don't ask, man.
Did we notice him? He come on, and what did he do?
Same as what
he does this thing where he makes it look like he's going to take the player on and then doesn't. Yeah, most of the others just cut in pass, but he does this like little thing where you think, oh, he's going to go for it, and he's got the speed to do it, but he doesn't do it either.
No,
I'm going to give him a. I'm going to do a John and give him a 2.
Yeah, I'd give him a 2.
Yeah, I mean, look, he didn't contribute much, but he didn't have much time either. I'll give him a 4. I'll be generous to the lad.
Or he's being nice to his mate there. I've just got the stats here, and if you read the stats, this is what I mean. Do you know earlier on I said that they can be deceiving, right? Shots: Spurs 11, City 12. On target: Spurs 6, City 5. I won't bother reading that expected goals thing, because I think that's a big.
But if you look at the shots that we had, you've got a Danso header from 17 yards out, which
there's 2 of them, wasn't there?
Is going to go in. You've got 2 little tippy tappy things from Tell. You've got that little.
I'm trying to think, Simon.
One guy towards the goal. We didn't. We might have had 6 on target, but the goalie was never really in any danger.
55 to 45 in Spurs' favour possession. Passes 5-12 Tottenham, 4-12 City. Spurs 8 corners to City's 3. Fouls 12 Tottenham, 15 City, and 3 yellow cards for Spurs, and somehow none for City. And City got 2 offsides. We didn't get any. The fact we didn't get any offsides, that enough said.
That tells you how far up the field we were going, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, my overall opinion is, like Nightglow said, a game of 2 halves. And I'm not sure where that. But I think I said last night on Twitter, I said you shouldn't have to rely on a manager giving you a bollocking at half time to come out and do that. They should have come out and done that in the beginning. But was that down to the changes? I don't know. But I'm not really angry about it like John and Danny were. But maybe I should be. I don't know. As my expectations drop, like Nightglow said, I don't know. I don't really know, but maybe all the eggs are in one basket now, aren't they, for the Europa League?
My problem is that I don't go into any games with any expectation anymore. It's just like you want to support a team where you kind of get excited about match day, and I'm just like, oh, great, it's match day. What the hell's going to happen today?
Yeah,
and it's just like
right there, Si.
It's supposed to be fun to support a team, and you want to support a team who is kind of giving an effort, making it, doing their thing for the shirt, for the fans, for whatever. But and I have this thing. Oh, well, these lads, they all get paid $100,000 a week, but our lads don't. But you know what I mean? They get paid like multiples of the average annual salary every week, and they look like they couldn't give a shit. And that's the bit that really frustrates me is that if they had half the passion of the fans,
yeah, we've always said
they wouldn't be in 13th in the league.
Nightglow, why do you think we're all sitting here much bored? Don't get too angry, mate. Your hair might fall out. That's why we're all bored. All Spurs fans.
What do you think 40 years of supporting this team does to you?
Yeah.
40, whatever, how many every year?
I'll pull out my pubes and everything, Nightglow. You're doing that in a game.
Hold on, just let me jack up some heroin. Christ.
No pressure on anyone. Well, that comes down from the board, Nightglow, don't it? That comes from the board. And I seem to say this every summer, but I think this is massive this summer, depending on who the manager is. Because I haven't got a clue if Simon thinks that he'll still be there next season no matter what. And I think that he won't be there if he don't win the Europa League. That's just my opinion. To get him out.
But you're saying that as a fan, not as Levy. I'm when I say he's going to be the next year, it's because Levy won't admit that he's made a mistake with this, and that this project, he was saying, this project is 3, 5, however many years, and he's not going to admit 2 years into it that he's made a mistake. Is there's this reason and that reason and the other reason? The injuries. And so what we need, we either need the current board who's put us on this road to back the manager and say, right, what is it you need? Because he doesn't clearly have the tools to play the way he wants to play. Yeah. What is it you need? And we know what he needs. He needs 2 players of similar quality in every position that he can run into the ground, so that when one is on his last legs, you pop another one in and you go again. Because there is only a plan A, but the problem is that we don't have 22 players who can play plan A. We probably have about 8 or 9.
Yeah, that's true. That 100%. Yeah. Well, Levy's on. I don't know what's going to go on. I really don't. I just don't know. I mean, can you trust Ange Simon? Now he said that he's just spent £50 million on Brendan Johnson, for example.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, look, I mean, this is the thing. He isn't the person who decides the number.
I'll say he keeps putting on Werner. You can't have football knowledge if you keep putting on Werner, can you? That's just.
No, I think next season you need 2 world wingers, right? World class or proven wingers. And I think you've got to move Gray into midfield with Bergvall. But if you do that, you're going to have to go out and spend big on a proven leader, hard man number 6 that can sit there and help the defence out. Because I think with Gray and Bergvall in the middle, you're laughing. I do like Bentancur, but I just don't think he can do it all the time. You need a proper, you know what I mean?
I don't think Bentancur. I think we should sell Bentancur. I want someone who's consistent, not someone who's going to be sitting on the injury bench.
You need a leader, a massive leader just to sit in front of that back four and then go and let Gray and Bergvall do their thing. That's what I think.
The problem that we've got with Bentancur is that he doesn't suit this league. You go and send him to Spain and he'll have a blinding season.
Yeah.
He'll be top draw. But I just don't think he just the crazy thing was that before we got that first big injury, he was my favourite player week in, week out. He was in the business.
Yeah, he was, yeah.
He was like a Rolls Royce. He was just unreal. He was the calmest, smoothest player on the pitch.
He was a Rolls Royce, yeah.
But he's calm and smooth with a bit of bite as well. But you don't really see much of any of that anymore.
No, the bite's gone, isn't it, Si? The bite's totally gone. The aggression.
I'll tell you what, though, Si, he has done well, you know, to come back from that injury, really, because not many players do. You know what I mean? It's a shame, really, what happened to him, isn't it? A big shame, to be honest with you.
And the problem was that he came back and he got done literally that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In his comeback game, he got done again.
Yeah.
Well, apparently he is in, I put it on my short the other day, he is in contract talks at the moment to extend his contract. So they obviously like what he's doing, unless they get someone in and they can rotate. So I don't think Bissouma's going to be the next season, and I'm not sure about Sarr. You know.
Well, look, the problem that we've got is that our two first choice centre backs haven't been available to play together for how long? And Romero, the noises he's making sounds like he's had enough. And so if Real Madrid have got 100 million in their pocket that they want to dump on him, then let's take it and buy two £50 million centre backs to replace him. And then you've got Mickey, Danso, and two decent centre backs, and you've got the four. We need four quality centre backs.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
And then you've got Porro, Spence, Udogie. We need another left back. So then you've got your 8 defenders. I think Kinski is a decent backup for Vicario. If you've got that backup left back and those backup centre backs, then we've got us. He's got a solid base to work from.
Yeah,
and then
I agree. Yeah,
I still think that Archie is probably going to be our captain at some point in the future if we can keep him.
Well,
I think he
is. Yeah.
And I think that if you look at what two 18-year-olds, Bergvall and Archie, roll forward 2-3 years' time, and with 2-3 years more experience, I reckon they'll be one of the best centre midfield partnerships around.
I mean, considering their age, they've been the best two players, haven't they, John? To be honest, Gray and Berg. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they have.
I've said it before. They've put the old people to shame, or the so-called experienced players to shame. To be honest,
Lou, here is a thing that backs up your thing about stats being a bunch of bollocks. There was this website, I can't remember what it's called now, and the stats that they used made Archie Gray the worst player in the Premier League.
There you go.
290th out of 290 players.
And Spurs' transfer dealings are now based on data-driven thing. I think they got the idea from Brighton.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. I just don't agree with it. I like the old-fashioned thing where the manager has got his right-hand man and scouts the player, or the manager knows of a player and goes, right, go and watch him. You know, all this director of football, all this bollocks about data-driven thing. I just don't think it's no good.
Do you know what I think we need? I think we need Sheikh Jassim come in, bring Paratici back, fill Paratici's pockets with as much money as he can say, and go out into the market.
He's in talks with Milan, though, isn't he? And I hope Levy's doing something. He's in talks with Milan now.
What, Paratici?
Paratici
or Sheikh Jassim?
No, Paratici. If it was the other man, I'd be jumping up and down. But yeah, we can't let Paratici go there, can we, John? We need him back, don't we? When he's banned. Because I
don't think he's going to come back to us, though.
Well, he'll probably want to be in Italy, won't he?
Yeah.
The transfer window, is based on cutting. Well, it looks like that, mate. It does look like that. You know what I mean?
We've been doing that for the last couple of years, haven't we?
The thing is we've got the lowest wage to income ratio in the Premier League,
42%.
which is like, how can you cut it? You can't really cut it much further. They say that a healthy number to be at is 55. So why are we trying to run at 42?
I thought it was to balance the books, to make the books look better for a potential investor. That's why I thought they'd done it.
Fuck off! It's to put the money. So the shareholders can trouser their dividends.
Yeah,
I don't know. It could be both. But there is definite stronger rumours. Do you know what I heard today? Funnily enough, Simon, you know Ben Davis. Someone told me today. I don't know if you know about this, John. Someone told me today that Ben Davis, who's been there now 10 years, is still on 50 grand a week. I'm not being funny. It's good money, but we're in 2025 now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're all on piss wages, aren't they?
Well, the young won't be on
Compared to other teams.
I don't understand. I don't understand it.
Who's our highest? I think
Son.
it's Son, isn't it?
200 grand a week.
Yeah.
Werner's got 175 grand a week. Werner. There's hope for us all. Let's get the boots back
this. I'm going to throw the computer out the window. See this Werner bollock, 75 grand. He ain't even worth 75 pence.
175 grand a week, John.
What?
Not 75, 175 grand a week, Werner's on.
Sorry, Lou, I was just about to fucking throw that out the whole fucking window there, bruv.
He's come out the trailer kicking off, boy.
Mate, I'm going to go down that training ground and have a fucking word with the German.
I don't know how much we're paying of it, but it's a lot of money, isn't it? How he got that over there, I do not know. I really don't.
The thing is Son pays for himself.
Yeah, Son pays.
The money that comes in from us having Son is way more than we're paying him.
Hey, John, tell Simon what you told me last night about that funny old channel that you watch it on, about all the people in the crowd.
Oh, I was watching the Spanish. Was it the Spanish football? And I was showing you the crowd. They like sway the cameras through the crowd so you can see all the crowd. And I didn't realise that they've actually got a whole stand of tourists from Korea.
It's mental, isn't it?
Yeah.
A whole stand of tourists from Korea, right? They must be paying like a couple of grand each, mustn't they? Flights, board, lodging, tickets.
They are obsessive.
Yeah.
Every game, when you go, there's loads of them.
I know.
If you turn up like an hour or more before the game, they're already there.
Yeah, all for Sonny. So that's what you say, Si. He's making the money for him, isn't he? He's paying himself, basically, what you said.
But the thing is, though, John, I don't know if you noticed it last night on your stream, what you was watching, but I could hear it or not hear it. Obviously, I do agree where the team has got to get the crowd up, but it was silent during the first half. Silent. Yeah. And that is because tourists. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I remember going to the game, Simon probably knows and all. When Spurs conceded a goal, right? As soon as Spurs conceded a goal, the whole crowd, especially at the old White Hart Lane, used to shout immediately, "Come on, you Spurs, getting behind the team." That's gone.
Yeah, that's proper gone, Lou.
Gone. And
I heard the Levy chant.
Yeah.
More than I heard the
They got behind a little bit more second half, but nowhere near as much.
No, you don't. Do you know what? It was silent on that stream I was watching.
It was silent.
It was so quiet. I thought to myself, "What's going on here?" It's like, you watch the Spanish football, the crowd's going mental. You watch the Italian football, the crowds are going mental. They've got passion, haven't they?
Yeah.
All them Spurs supporters in that stadium, all they're more worried about is chanting the Levy out chant. And that's about, there ain't no passion, is there, in Tottenham no more? I mean, they priced all.
Where do you stand, John, on the Levy out thing?
Where do I stand?
Yeah, where do you stand on the? Do you want Daniel Levy out
I want Daniel Levy out, but I think the protesters, I think they lack so much passion that it's unbelievable. Because how can you just protest for one game, one day? I don't understand that.
Yeah.
It should be every game, regardless, home and away. But oh no, when you get the media outlets like on the YouTube channels, it's all one particular week.
Yeah.
Everyone's giving it Levy out, and then for the next 6 weeks, everyone's just chatting shit, aren't they?
What do you think, Simon? Do you want Levy out?
This is where my head's at. I think he's taken it. He's put it into such a brilliant sellable commodity. He should. I think that when he took over, we were up shit street, and we were probably weeks away from going out of business.
Mm.
And so to get to where they are today financially, from where he picked it up, brilliant, absolutely brilliant business model. Done all of that great stuff. Now let's focus back on the football team. That the problem is that we're a business that has a football team rather than a football team that's a well-run business.
Yeah.
And until we start focusing on the footballing side again, I think it's literally a crime that we've got the lowest wage to income ratio in the Premier League. We like to be called one of the big six, where we try and do everything small. And we try and cost cut everywhere possible. And I think that the time for him to sell is now. But you got to be careful what you wish for.
Yeah.
Because you look at Man United. They're doing another round of redundancies.
Yeah.
They've got rid of they're micromanaging it to the extent where I read that they're getting rid of the staff canteen.
Yeah.
And they just like leaving fruit, so you could have a piece of fruit if you get hungry.
Yeah, that's gone. That's right. That's gone.
And it's just like
crazy, yeah.
And it's just like, what are you doing? So you got to be careful with what you wish for, because you might be out the frying pan and into the fire. I think it's time for him to go. I think trouser the money, because he's going to do whenever it sells, he'll do really well out of it. And let's focus on really pushing the football side of this club forward again.
I don't think he'd ever go though, Si.
You don't think he'd go, John?
No. If you're making that much money,
I reckon because I know he's thick skinned, but he must be sitting there thinking, these fans calling me, look, how ungrateful, because I think that's the way what he thinks. That's what I think, But Simon's right. In my opinion, I think I've said it on here before, I thank him for making us a more stable club, making us a global franchise, whatever you want to call it. Thanks for the stadium. Thanks for the training ground. He is an excellent businessman, but with football, I don't think he's ever been with it. He's too involved in the football side, and he doesn't know about the football side of things, to be fair with you.
Yeah.
Because there's rumours that when this mush takes over, if he takes over, that they will keep Levy on, and he wants to stay on, but in a non-football capacity. I'd be quite happy with that.
I don't think he'd take that. I think that's just all media bullshit, Lou.
Well, I reckon if I was going to take him over and see him if I was one of these sheiks or whatever you call it, I'd keep him on. I would, because he is a brilliant businessman. But when it comes to football,
exactly, if a sheikh comes in with like, sheikh just seems worth something stupid like 240 billion or whatever he's worth. They're going to want to protect their investment. So yes, keep Levy on as a bit. He has to have zero to do with the football side.
Yeah, that's it. 100%.
It runs itself now, doesn't it? It runs itself now. So you don't really need Levy there, because he's done all he can. He's not going to take us any further in the financials. The stadium's there. The infrastructure's all there, isn't it?
Who knows? It'll be hotels. What's next? You don't know. I don't know.
It's just like a change of shopkeeper. See you later.
Did you see last night? And I think that there was like, was Man United at home last night, or am I imagining it?
They're big.
And there's like a rat running around, and every time it rains, there's water coming through the roof, and you just think the Glazers bought Man United with debt, and I think that they're still in the same amount of debt. It's a money machine to them. They couldn't give a shit.
The Manchester supporters are even bringing their own screwdrivers into the stadium to fix their seats. That's mad, isn't it?
Apparently, they said on the thing yesterday, I can't remember how many years ago they took out. Anyway, the debt. They're on about the debt, and they've only paid off the interest. So the debt at Manchester United is the same.
Yeah.
Like 600
It's
million.
mental. They bought the club with debt, and the debt's still there.
It's absolutely that. So when you look at it like that, the Levy lovers will be like, you know, like you said, be careful what you wish for. And I do agree with you there. But Levy won't sell it to any Muppet, will he? Do you know what I mean? Because he's, like I said, a good businessman. But yeah, all the infrastructure there. We just need to push on now, don't we? We need to push on and become a football team which is worthy of having that stadium. And you've got, like you said,
what did Enid pay for the club? Was it 50 million or something like that?
Oh, yeah,
and now they're
value it now
4.5 billion for it.
Yeah. So, like you said, you're going to get money out of it. But we're going to end up a laughing stock if we carry on like this, because we're going to have this fantastic training ground, fantastic stadium, and we're going to be shit, like we are now, to be honest.
Yeah.
But it could get a lot worse, couldn't it, if we don't sort the football inside out of it? And we're going to look.
Can you imagine if we got relegated with this stadium?
That's what I mean. Yeah, it's time to step up, isn't it? You've got the money.
This stadium in the Championship, wouldn't we?
Yeah, that's what they were saying on Twitter when we was right down there, weren't they? But he's got to something's got to give, innit? There's something's got to give.
He's got to spend out in the summer, hasn't he, Lou?
Oh man, he's got the money there.
You know, if you don't spend out in the summer, then
it's the thing though that we all say about the rich, isn't it? How much more money do you want? How much more money do you possibly need? But it becomes greed, I think, doesn't it?
He split Tottenham into all different companies, right? And he's a director of every single one of them, isn't he? Yeah, him and his little mates, him, Donna Cullen, and that other bloke. You know, they're directors of every single Spurs company.
Because who knows what next is going to be? When you got the boxing next year, you got that Beyonce thing. But I see that in the background last night, the old advertising for the Beyonce thing, taking the piss. But I don't mind getting the revenue. I don't care what they do at the stadium, as long as I see it going into the team. Do you know what I mean? And I see a geezer arguing, I think it was yesterday, it might have even been today, I can't remember now. Yeah, yesterday, saying, but he has spent money, that whole thing. But remember when I read it out to you the other week? No one seems to click onto that. They might have spent 400 million. But Levy will only give you like 100 million to spend on 5 players, whereas Arsenal went out and bought Declan Rice for 100 million. We won't do that. But we'll have to wait and see, because they reckon they are going to do that in the summer, but I'll believe it when I see it. Oh, Solanke's back, by the way, for could possibly be back for the Europa League game. And Van der Ven and Romero. We've
still got another week, haven't we, to get ready? Yeah,
Solanke might be ready. The other two are. But Solanke might be ready for the return leg. But I see him training. Do you see it, John, on there on the Spurs thing? I see him training.
Yeah, I see a little bit of him training.
We massively.
I was just when you say Van der Ven's back, he's going to come back. What's the predictions? How long is he going to last on the pitch before he gets another injury?
I don't know, but it's worrying, isn't it? But he said the other day in his interview, the reason he took so long for both of them is because he wants them in for the long term. So if he gets another injury, I'll tell you what, they might be looked to get rid of him, you know. But it's the system, isn't it?
Yes, that's running back. And
Porro suffered from the system last night. If you rewatch it again, because he's flying up the pitch what he's told to do, and then running back. You can't keep doing that, man. The amount of sprints that Spurs do. Remember, I said the other day when Spence made 22 sprints in one game, and I bet half of them weren't sprints what he wanted to do. You want to go forward, so he might have wanted to go forward 10 times. I bet he didn't want to track back like that 12 times.
No, and I bet like giving the ball away.
And I bet half of them.
The thing is, at the moment, Spence seems to sprint with a smile on his face at the moment. I love to see it, but
you see what Pep said to him after. Why did you keep running so much? So he was obviously impressed with him. Do you know what I mean? Oh, we got a bit of a break now, haven't we? Do you think we'll beat them, Simon, in that Europa League game? Yeah. I do. Yeah. I think
well, if we don't, I mean, basically, Andrew's put all his eggs in this basket. So if we don't, it's not a good look.
I think we'll beat him. Do you think we'll beat him, John? It's away first.
Yeah, I wanted to play this team first. As soon as the draw happened, I thought, I hope we get this AZ out more. You know?
Out of them and Sociedad, you definitely wanted them.
Yeah.
I forgot to check on Sociedad to see how they're doing over there. I forgot to look. But yeah, that's all in it now. We've just got to pray now for the Europa League, then, haven't we? And that's it. Anything else you want to add, John? Or have you got it off your chest now, Mush?
No, I'm still fuming. Still fuming, Lou. I want someone to answer me the question why he keeps putting Werner on. I'm not understanding it. I'm getting confused.
I'm trying to think in his mind. He puts him on because he thinks, please go at the fullback. You've got pace.
I'm just hoping we put him on so he gets a broken leg or something, you know.
Well, he's gone. They're not going to renew his loan anyway. I can tell you that.
Really?
So, yeah, they said
that.
That's
positive. Cheers, Lou. You got me stopped. You stopped me fuming there.
Simon.
Well, I mean, you know my thoughts on Timo.
Yeah.
I just don't know why. I don't know why we brought him in, and I don't know why we brought him back.
Do you know what, though, Sly? When we brought him, I actually thought perhaps he might get some confidence back, and he might be that person to get us a couple of goals. And I was egging him on. I love an underdog.
Yeah.
But do you know what?
But this dog's
my brain's tested.
The thing is, you convince yourself. Well, I did. When Werner come back, I knew he was shit over it, but I kept trying to. I convinced myself that he could do it.
Yeah, same here.
He did do it a couple of times, get down the box, because he is fast. Like when he outpaced Walker that day, just doesn't do it enough. And he is. I know most people are confidence players, but he is. Yes, I agree with you that, mate. I do agree. That is so good. And that I done it again last night. I do confess. When I'm a bit pissed off, I do go onto Arsenal TV after they've had a bit of a crap result. And I'll tell you what, we're all moaning here. But all their fans are like wannabe roadmen. I have to have a translator.
What did you say, Lou? You go onto Arsenal TV?
Yeah, because they make me laugh because they're such a bunch of dinlos. But they're all road. They're all road. They're going blood, famine, and all that. I can't handle it. I don't know, but it just makes me laugh. They're all saying Arteta out, Arteta out. I'm thinking you're second in the league, man. What do you want?
Yeah, proper mockery.
I don't like Lego Ed. I can't stand the bloke. Don't get me wrong. But it wasn't his fault that they didn't go and buy a striker because he admitted he wanted a striker. He didn't get it.
Yeah.
It's not his fault. I mean, what do you want? Do you know what I mean? What do you want? If you finish in the top 4, right, in this league, you've had a good season because it's an hard league. It's the hardest league in the world.
Did you see what Lego Head said after the Forest game yesterday?
Sorry?
Did you see what Lego Head said after the Forest game yesterday?
No, I only see the
headline. He said that we got 4 points off of Forest and City only got 1. So it shows you who the better team is. And I thought,
it's not about City this season.
What a dickhead.
He's nearly as bad a couple of weeks ago when he said something about the ball, wasn't it?
Oh, the ball's too heavy, the ball's too light.
Oh,
so I think the cup ball was too light and another ball was too heavy, or the other way around. It's just like...
That's another thing I will say before we go. I was saying it earlier to Harry. That is why I respect Pep Guardiola, because I don't think I've ever seen Lego Ed come out and say, yeah, they were better than us. He came out again. He's always complimentary about Spurs, isn't he?
Yeah.
And he came out again. He said it. He said, we was better in the first half. We should have won the game. But the second half, we knew it was coming, and they had the better second half. They're an excellent team, blah, blah, blah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and he always tells as it is. And I've never seen Arteta do that. Never. It's never his fault or never his team's fault if they lose or they draw. He's an
Arsenal, isn't he? He suits Arsenal, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's an arrogant twat.
Yeah.
Never gets done for being outside his technical area, shouting abuse, this and that. Oh, mate, you might be right out. But yeah, Nightglass, a good thing to finish on. Hopefully they won't finish nothing. They'll get nothing. Hopefully they'll probably beat PSV in the Champions League. But they won't win that. But I just don't understand. I just wanted to say I don't understand what they expect because we'd swap positions now and be second, wouldn't we?
Yeah, definitely.
But the mentality's changed, isn't it? From when we was young. Well, even me now, if we get top 4, I'm happy. You've had a good season. But unless you finished first, you're shit. You're bottlers. You're crap. It's mental, isn't it? The mentality's changed.
That's the entitled generation, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well,
it's crazy.
What sums it all up is that you can finish 4th and then come compete in something called the Champions League.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, in it, Simon, if you finish in the top 4, if Tottenham finish in the top 4 every year, you know you're supporting a good team because the league is so strong.
And we had 6 years of that.
We did. What's this? Our squad value goes up after a pep talk. Oh, yeah. Maybe Levy's had a word with him, yeah. I'll tell you what, I wouldn't mind seeing Pep. I'd love to see Pep manage this squad of players that we got. Because I think he's a good manager, I do. Anyway, lads, I've done my job for the night. I've calmed John down. I don't know where Danny is. I'll see if he's texting me.
He's probably still fuming. He's probably still too fuming to come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, he hasn't.
He's probably smacking his kneecaps against the wall again.
That's probably how he really injured his knee, isn't it? Simon, you got to that WhatsApp group. I've got to ask you last night.
Yeah, bung me everyone's phone numbers, and
he goes mad, man, with his voice. But me and Harry we sit there watching the game, and he absolutely just has us in hysterics. Some of the things he says is just so funny, man. What's that? He'd end up in, is it funny for me? Yeah, he would, yeah. All right, then, boys. So I'll see you in about a week. And hopefully we're chatting about a Spurs victory in the Europa League.
We will.
Cross our fingers.
Shalom.
3-1.
That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
2-1 then. I was going to say 3-1.
Yeah, I always go 3-1.
Yeah. Oh, we'll all go 3-1 then. Yeah.
There it goes. We're just going to speak it into reality, and then job's good. And
we're going to win this. Before we go, let's have a quick one. Look. John, you're first. Are we going to win Europa League?
Yeah.
You don't know.
Be positive. You know me.
I'd be surprised, but we'll. I think we'll get through against Alkmaar.
Yeah,
and then we might come unstuck in the next round, but you never know. I remain hopeful. I've always said since way back at the start of the season, this is our best chance of winning something. But
nightclub's not.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's our best chance. Doesn't mean we actually have a chance. It just means that we had less chance of the other two. But yeah,
I'm going to bottle it.
I can't see it. I can't see how we get from here.
A lotto. Oh, do you know what?
Yes, he wins the lotto this week, though.
Imagine if he done. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. I'm going to say we've got a very good chance. I do think we've got a very good chance. I really do. And if they say got to the semi-final or the final, I know we do like bottle it in these occasions, but I believe that after such a shit season with all the injuries and that, they would actually turn up for that one.
Well, look, here's the thing, right? The bottom 3 in the Premier League are so far adrift now that I just think no one else is going to get relegated. The bottom 3 is the bottom 3. So what we have to do is every time that there's a Europa game, we probably have to sacrifice both Premier League games either side of it.
Yeah.
And focus on the Europa League game.
Right, yeah. Yeah, because you're in a position to do that, aren't we? Yeah. So we're going to finish 4th from bottom and win Europa League.
I reckon we're going to finish 12th and get to the final.
Good to see you again, mate. Sorry, Simon. 12th.
12th and the final.
Get on, boy. If we go to the final, John, where is the final? Do you know?
Bilbao, isn't it?
Is it in Spain?
Yeah, Bilbao, the Basque country.
Come down with my van and we'll look up the old trailer there and we'll go in that.
Bang on, Lou. Bang on, mate. I'm up for that.
Oh, all right, then, lads. I'll see you later. Take care of yourselves. Shalom.